My personal experience with COVID-19. On October 4th, 2020, I was tested for COVID-19 due to being exposed to someone who didn't have symptoms at the time but later tested positive. It was the most painful test I've ever had. It should be noted I have cerebral palsy and have had multiple surgeries, none of which compared to this. It felt like they were stabbing my brain. I was hesitant to get the test because I also had no symptoms but decided it was best for those around me. Playing the waiting game for 2 days was almost as bad as the brain stab because you have no idea what the results will be. I remember being so terrified of the results, so I did the only thing I knew to do. I prayed and prayed some more. I was really stunned to find out that I actually had COVID-19. I begged God to let me make it through this trial. Looking back, I can see how the process and diagnosis affected all areas of my life. My anxiety was at an all-time high, though I didn't realize that's what I was experiencing at the time. I remember feeling fearful that I was going to die because, according to the news, there were so many people dying from COVID and there was little known information about it. My heart broke when I had to tell my family because I knew they might feel some of the same emotions as me. Notifying my dad was the hardest phone call because we have always been close since I was a kid and I didn't want to worry him. When I made the gut-wrenching call to my dad, I was not showing symptoms. However, later that night, they began, and it started with shortness of breath. I remember crying during the first night because I could not breathe or catch my breath, and that was a very scary night. Boy, what a scary night. I really thought I was living my last moments and knew I wanted to do so much more in my life. I remember praying to God that I was not ready to go yet, but if it was His will, let it be done. The next few days, I remember doing was praying that I would wake up from my sleep, and I slept a lot, so I prayed a lot. The weakness I feel in my body because of CP was more than doubled because of COVID. I was so weak I could barely move my body myself. I felt my body do weird things. My entire body would go limp at times and next be very stiff like a board. This made it seemingly impossible to get out of bed when I needed to eat, like going to the restroom or eating. To be honest, I hated to get out of bed because it hurt and I had no energy. But I knew if I made myself get up, I may feel better, and boy, did I ever. I ran a fever for a few days, but mostly I felt very tired the whole time I had COVID-19. I had lost my sense of smell and still have not gained it all back. Who knows if I ever will? Do you know how weird it is to not be able to smell something you used to? I have never lost my sense of taste, but others with COVID did. I'm glad that as crappy as I felt, I could still taste food. I have to say, since having COVID, my entire body has felt the effects. I no longer have the ability or stamina to get myself in or out of my power chair. Boy, does that suck. My hands and legs have definitely lost muscle tone, but I also experience shortness of breath while trying to do this, too. I'm thankful I have staff to help me. Thank God for them. I still have coughing spells also. I'll be on the phone and have to stop the conversation due to coughing so hard. It is super annoying, and that sucks too. These symptoms are not as severe today as when I first began showing signs of COVID-19. Thank God. It is still possible to have COVID and not show signs of the virus. Anyone who may test positive for COVID can have several different symptoms at one time, or there could be no symptoms at all. So be careful. COVID affects everyone differently. For instance, my friend Erica had bad cold chills, shortness of breath, which resulted in her having to sit in a chair instead of lay flat. After about 3 days, she lost her sense of taste and smell. Please take this virus very seriously and wear your mask when you go out to protect not only yourself but others as well. How many people out there would like to get back to normal? I know I would. Please like my page, Serenity Mountain Motivational Speaking.